Do you travel? Are you worried about your luggage making it wherever you're going? Or maybe you just want to keep track of it on its journey. How about your kids losing their backpack? Stick around because I have your solution. Meet the new Samsung Galaxy SmartTag 2. Hi, I'm Robert, and I have over 30 years of experience in technology. And this channel is all about unboxings, reviews on some of the coolest gadgets, smart home tech, and software that you didn't even know you needed. So hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any new awesome gadgets. Today, I'm going to unbox and I'm going to show you what I feel is the best solution to keep track of things that you're worried about losing or just want to know where they're at, kind of like your kids and their backpacks. Meet the new Samsung Galaxy SmartTag 2. And stick around because I'm going to show you some accessories and how I plan on using these. Also, tell me down in the comments section below if you've ever lost your luggage or maybe misplaced your keys. Maybe your kids lost their backpack and you wish you would have had one of these. Or if you do already have one, how do you use it? Has it helped you keep track of your stuff? Okay, so let's get into opening these up and see what we got in the box. I personally chose to get the 4-pack because we're going to be taking some trips coming up. Actually one next month, one in September, and then again in November. And I want to make sure that I am keeping track of my luggage. You know, the airlines have gotten a little crazy and you always hear stories of people losing luggage and, you know, not knowing where the things are at. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping tabs of it. So let's get this opened up and see what we got. So this is the second gen. I actually have one of the first smart tags. And I'm going to show you that here in just a moment, and we're going to compare them side by side. But I can tell you that the first gen SmartTag just didn't impress me. So as you can see, this is what we have in the box. And this 4-pack is 2 white, 2 black. Now you can get these individual, you can actually get them in pairs. You don't have to get the 4-pack. I'm going to put an Amazon link down in the description and I'll include for the single, the double, and the 4-pack. I think right now the 4-pack is probably one of the better deals, but even still, these here individually are normally $29.99. I think right now on Amazon, they're doing like 20% off, so you can get them for like $21.99. So that's not a bad deal. This is what it looks like up close. You can see it's not that big. And this year Samsung added this big loop right here. And their whole point of doing that was so that you can actually put this on, you know, larger straps, maybe a dog collar, things like that. And I think it's actually a really smart idea. They also made it metal on the inside, not plastic. It's going to have a much longer lifespan and much higher durability, in my opinion. Obviously, I haven't tested it yet, but we'll get there. But I can tell you that this is very well made. It feels actually much better than the old one. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. They have made this IP67 water resistant and dust resistant. If you drop this out in the rain or in a puddle, you'd be fine. I don't know that I'd let it sit there and soak for a couple hours. But if you dropped it, it's not going to hurt anything. Just pick it up, dry it off, and you're good to go. Now, another thing I really like about these tags is it actually has a replaceable battery. And I'm going to show you here in just a minute how you open this little battery door so you can get the battery out. They give you this little SIM-like tool that you can use to open the battery door. It's not for a SIM card, it's for the battery door. And again, I'm going to show you that here in just a few minutes as well. The fact that they make this battery replaceable and it's using the common CR2032 little disc batteries that you find in most of my smart home devices that are battery operated have a battery like that. So they're really easy to find. They're very inexpensive. And according to Samsung, this device here on one brand new battery will last up to 500 days. Yes, days, not hours, but days. That's a long time. That's like a year and a half. So that's going to take you a long time to run this battery down. And I'm going to show you here in a minute how easy it is to actually swap this battery out. Now, unfortunately, or in my case, fortunately, these smart tags only work with Samsung smartphones. And I believe you have to have Android version 9.0 or higher, but we're about to be released with Android 15. So I would think that more than likely most phones that are in use right now are going to be well past version 9. So you should be fine on your version of Android, but you do have to have a Samsung device. Now, one other cool feature this has is ultra wideband, which gives you much higher accuracy of location. And again, you have to have a Samsung phone that supports ultra wideband. And I believe phones from the S21 and higher support ultra wideband. Now I have the S23 Ultra. My wife also has an S23 Ultra. So it's not going to be any problem to use all of the available features that this device gives you. Now, probably one of the things that helps with the battery life is it uses the new Bluetooth Low Energy 5.3, which is the newest version of the Bluetooth standard that's out. And it's supposed to be a lot more energy efficient, but actually provide you just as good a connectivity. Personally, myself, Bluetooth has always been one of those things that is, sometimes it works great and sometimes it doesn't. They say you can get 35 feet out of a Bluetooth connection, but it's been my experience that's typically not the case. It's actually a little shorter than that. I would think that within, 20 to 25 feet, you'd be real good connectivity wise. But you start getting 35 feet and it's getting really spotty and you're not going to have a very good connection. So, if you stick with that 25 feet range, you're in good shape. Now, bear in mind, the whole point of this is that as it's roaming around the world and it comes in contact with other Samsung devices that support the connectivity, it anonymously sends out a signal to that device, and that device will report anonymously to the Samsung Find network as to where that device is located. There's no information being tracked. It's simply an anonymous ping that's happening through other people's phones. And I think it's genius, actually. I think Samsung has the best network to compete against Apple. Yes, Google has their Find My Device network that they've got running. As we've seen by other reviews, it's just not on par. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you a device that you can use in addition or to replace this if you wanted to use just the Google ecosystem. One advantage with the Google side of things is that it works with any Android phone, not just Samsung. So if you have other Android-based devices, then the Google Find My Device network is probably going to be your best bet unless you have an Apple. Now, Google's continuing to improve their network functionality and capabilities, but they're so embedded with Samsung and they do a lot of collaboration with them already with many other aspects of their Android operating system. I don't know why they wouldn't have just somehow incorporated the Samsung network into their phones, and then you'd be able to have the Samsung existing infrastructure available on any Android phone, basically. But, they didn't ask me, so I didn't have an input. But stick around too, because in the end, I'm going to show you a couple of additional features this has that you probably didn't know were there. Now, Samsung offers these little silicone cases you can put these in. And again, I'm going to link those in the description so you can go check them out. I personally don't really see the need for that. I suppose it would help protect it if you have it in, a purse or somewhere that maybe the device can get scratched up, but these devices are pretty durable. So I don't know that you'd really need the silicone case. One thing the silicone case does is also gives you like a key ring loop. But again, I already have a key ring loop that I could just put around this. I don't need a second one to attach to my keys. I already have one. So I'll link it. You can go check it out. Maybe it's perfect for what you need, but I am going to show you an accessory that I plan on using that I think actually is better than the silicone tag. So hang around for that. Now, there's a couple of different ways of connecting these, but I can tell you from past experience with other devices, like for example, my watch, as soon as I turned my watch on, my phone saw it like immediately and asked to pair it. And these actually work the same way. However, if you're not able to get that pairing, then on the back of the box, you'll see that, sorry, wrong box. On the back of the box, you'll see it has these QR codes. And when you scan these QR codes, they're assigned to each specific device. So you can, scan one at a time. Let's say you don't want to use all of them at the same time. You could just wait and then scan it. But if you have a fairly new Samsung device, it's going to automatically see it as soon as you pull that little plastic tab out and activate the battery. Now, it gives you little instructions there on how to actually remove the battery door, but I'm actually going to show you that. But first, let's get into the app. let's go ahead and get one of these devices paired up so you can see how the pairing works, and you can also see some of the features and how to set some of the functionality of some of these extra features that they have on the actual device itself. Okay, so now that I'm in my app, and you can see I've got a lot of devices in here. If I go to devices, you can see all the devices. But some of these are from other products, like for example, my Philips Hue is connected to my SmartThings app. And so you can control basically everything in your home through SmartThings if you wanted to. I'm just gonna leave that open for the moment. And let's go ahead and pull out the little plastic tab, and you'll see that it's gonna prompt me pretty much immediately to pair the device as soon as the battery connects. So you hear it beep. Okay, well, see, it made a liar out of me. But this is why they give you multiple ways. In the past, things like that would automatically pop up. Hey, you've got a new device, let's connect it. But that's okay. So this will be a good example of how you add it without it giving you that automatic prompt. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and hit the plus sign up here, and I'm going to say add device. I'm going to say add a Samsung device. And we're going to scroll down until we get to tag and tracker. You see right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and scan this QR code here. Okay, so I originally chose the black tag, but scanned a white tag's code. So I pulled out the white tag and I went ahead and activated it instead. And so you can see here where it's asking me, you know, what location. So I'm just gonna leave it home. For now, I'm gonna say bonus room because that's where my office is at. But you can actually create like luggage. You can create like whatever room you want. So this tag's name here, I'm going to say, let's see, the white ones I plan on using for my wife's luggage. So I'm going to go ahead and name it so I don't have to rename it. So now this tag is named Susan SmartTag 1. Oh, so nice. It automatically sees it. I got to update the firmware. So yep, we're going to say update before we go any further. Okay, so we are all updated. We are connected. And one thing that's really cool is Samsung has these, so this says pet care. They have energy monitoring, they have, you know, clothing care. They have like these different subsets of the app to where you have like a refrigerator, your washer dryer, smart tags. They have these different sections of the app that can monitor and have different capabilities for different pieces of equipment. I think it's really cool how they have that segregated. As you see here, it says double press the button on your tag to make your phone ring. You can turn that feature on to where, let's say you have your tag but you don't have your phone, you're not sure where your phone is, double tap that and it'll make your phone ring. All right, so here's another cool feature. So if we go into automation right here, okay, now you see where it gives you the ability where you can customize an action or a functionality for, like, if you just press it one time. So if you turn that on, then you hold the button, you can assign a completely separate automation. So you can really customize this to do a lot of different things that you want it to do, which I think is fantastic because, like, you could have it where it turns on lights, notifies loved ones, sends you a text message. There's all kinds of functionality that you can use with that. Okay, so let's look at a couple other settings that you can do. So if you notice here where it says connected view on map. So if you click view on map, then it takes you to a map where it shows you the location of your device. And if you notice down here where it says ring, location history, refresh, and you have the three little dots for more. If you go into more, you have the ability to like navigate to the device. You can select notify when left behind. You can select notify when arriving or leaving. So that's helpful if, for example, let's say this was part of your purse or your keys or your briefcase or your backpack, and you left the house and you were headed down the street, you're going to get notified that you left this behind. So that can be really helpful if you leave something at the house that you absolutely have to have with you, and you can go back and get it before you get too far away. So here's another cool feature. And this enables you to have where, for example, if you share your location, let's say with your spouse or your kids with you, you can turn on share this device's location so that you can share that. So the other share member on your account will know where this device is at, and they'll be able to track it just like you can. Another added feature is this loss mode. This wasn't a part of the previous one. So one cool feature is this has an NFC chip in it. And when you enable this loss mode, you're able to update information so that if somebody scans this NFC, they'll know who this tag belongs to. So you can put in an address, an email address, a phone number, or whatever it is you want. And that way it allows this tag to be brought back into your possession if someone happens to find it. Now, the only thing is, unless somebody knows to scan it, they'll never know that that NFC exists. Now, you could put someone in here that says scan me or something, but I don't know that I want to do that, because then everybody's going to be scanning it whether it's lost or not. And I don't really want that. But I think as more and more people know that feature exists, like for example, myself, if I happen to see another one of these tags and it was like some backpack laying out in the middle of nowhere, I could scan it and I would know then who's that backpack belonged to. So I'm going to say turn on. Now this other down here where it says go to Susan's SmartTag 1 settings, that just takes you back to the original settings when we first set it up. We've already configured all of that, so there's no need to do any more configuring on that. So now if you look and see, you can see that I have all these different devices. I have my Galaxy Book, I have my phone, I have my other SmartTag. They're all listed in my account, or I can track any of these devices. Now, here's one little thing that you probably didn't know. If you click these three little dots up here, you can click add to home screen, and it enables you to add this icon here to your home screen so that it's easily accessible and you don't have to go hunting into the app to get to the Find My. You can just put that on your home screen, click it, and be able to instantly track any of your devices. That's kind of a little hidden unknown thing, I think, to a lot of people. They don't realize that's there. I didn't actually for the longest. So that's basically the setup. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, a lot of cool features and functionality in it. And this device really is not that big. So here's the original, here's the new one. And if you take them side by side, you can see that there's not that much a difference. Now, this is a little taller. However, one thing that I really like, the new one's actually thinner. You can see that the old SmartTag pretty noticeably thicker. So even though this has what would be just a little bit of extra height, I think the functionality between having that extra ring where you don't have just this little tiny hole here, and this has way more functionality because it's got ultra wideband on it. It's got the newer Bluetooth edition. So in my opinion, this is an absolute must upgrade. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to upgrade. I know, again, this here just didn't impress me. I would not have bought another one of these. Well, which is why I didn't, because it just, to me, wasn't worth it. So when I was going through the app, adding the additional trackers, I realized why it didn't pop up is because for some reason, under easy connection in the app of my SmartThings, the ask to add new devices and add your devices automatically were not enabled. I don't know why they were turned off, because my watch automatically asked me as soon as I turned it on. So I'm going to re-enable those, so the next time I add one, it'll automatically pop that box up that says, hey, you got a new tracker, you want to add it? And I can say yes, so let's go. So I don't know how those got turned off, but they're turned back on now. So as you see, I now have all of my devices added. At the top, you see my original SmartTag, I have phone, my Galaxy Book, my Galaxy Buds, which I don't really use, my watch, and now my 4 new tags. So I can pretty much track any of these at any time with SmartThings app. Okay, so I want to show you how to take the battery out if you ever have to replace the battery, or I should say when you have to replace the battery. And that's what this little tool here is for. It's a little like, SIM card tool. Really, basically any SIM card tool you have from any of your phones would work. And if for some reason you lose this, you can see the end of it. Really a, like a straight pin or a paper clip or something would, a small paper clip would fit in the hole, no problem. Not sure if you can see it. It's a little hole right there, and you can barely see it, that this pin fits into. So all you have to do is slide it in there. Okay. Make sure you're not pushing down on the bottom, because the bottom is going to pop out. So if you're pushing this and the bottom at the same time, the bottom's never going to pop out. So you stick it in there, have to apply a little bit of force, and you see how the bottom kind of just popped up a little bit, and that's all you need then to take it and slide the battery door out. And you'll notice the battery is just kind of set in this little tray. Now, you're probably thinking like, oh no, what if I get the battery in wrong after I've replaced it? Well, Samsung has thought of that. So if I try to put this in here the wrong way, it'll only get so far and it won't go in the rest of the way. So you can't put it in the wrong way. So it only goes in one way, and then you just slide the door back in there and you're good to go. And there's a little rubber seal there too to help protect from water, so you don't have to worry about that. In all reality, they really thought a lot about the design of this device, and I really like it a lot. So now, as promised, I'm going to show you a really cool accessory that I have purchased and exactly how I'm going to use it for my upcoming travels. So this is the accessory I have purchased, and what they are: luggage tags that you put your SmartTag into to wrap around your luggage. And they're like really inexpensive. I think they're like 17 bucks for two on Amazon. I'll obviously put links in the description, but this is what they look like here. And as you see, it's got a nice metal band that's actually covered in plastic. On the back, it's got a little Allen wrench screw in it. They give you the Allen wrench in the bag. So there's two of them, black one and a white one, and they both come with their own key, which is nice. Now I've already got this one opened up. So once you unscrew that, this just opens like this, okay? And then you're gonna take your tag and you're gonna put your tag inside here and just close that back. So that 100% protects the tag. And see, this is another reason too, that if you use a device like this, you don't need that silicone cover, because this is going to protect it, and you're going to be able to hear the tag through this, so you don't really have to worry about that. The NFC will also work through this, so if someone does scan it, then it'll be easily scannable to where they can get that information. And if you look right here, you can see how that's kind of just set in there. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take one of these. So this whole top piece right here comes off, where you can get this cable out. So in order obviously to strap it through, a piece of luggage, you're going to have to take, one side out. You're going to have to kind of like fit it back in here and wrap this around whatever, strap or bracket, whatever you're going to wrap it around, and then close it and screw it back up. Now, the only thing is you kind of have to just pay attention how it kind of fits in there. It's got like these little like grooves the sides and the center fit into. And of course, each one of the metal ends has its own groove that it fits into. So once you get to where you're going to get it strapped down, you just slide this back in the hole. You kind of have to kind of play with it a little bit, because you're going to have to like loosen it and then slide this back in the hole. So really, probably the best thing to do is just take this off completely, put that around what you're going to put it around, and then come back to this and then pop that back in there, and you should be good shape. As you can see, it's a real nice fit. Now I will have to say, because of the strap that I have is kind of wide, it did take a little finagling to get the cable ends in, get the little metal piece popped down into the plastic, and then get it closed and put the screw in before anything popped out. But if your strap wasn't quite as fat or wide, then you probably wouldn't have as much of an issue. But once you get everything popped down in there, then you just close it, put the screw in, and you're good to go. But one thing you don't want to make sure and do is forget to put the tracker inside the plastic case like I did. Because you got to take it all back apart again and do it all over. So yeah, I got everything put together, went to screw it down, and realized, oh, I forgot to put the tracker in. So easily corrected though. These are super nice. I really like this. With the plastic or rubber sheathing that's around this metal strap, you're not gonna have to worry about anything getting scratched that you put it on. You could actually probably write or put a sticker on here to include your name. You know how you put your name, address, or whatever it is you want in case someone finds your luggage, to replace the name tag. I'm going to keep our name tag. I'm not going to put anything on here. I'm just going to leave it blank. But yeah, these are super cool, super cheap, and you definitely want to go check it out. Put the link in the description. But with the functionality that this has, the fact that it has a 1.5 year long replaceable battery, ultra wideband, precise location capability, as long as you have a Galaxy phone that supports ultra wideband, and that's anything that's an S21 plus or above. The programmable button that you can program for not only press but also hold, so there's 2 different automated functionalities you can program. Lost mode, you have the silicone case from Samsung if that's what you want and you don't want one of these big plastic like luggage tags. Or on your keys, you could just put it right on your existing ring. You don't even have to have another ring. You can just use it just like it is. And the fact that right now one of these is on sale at Amazon for $21.99, this should be a no-brainer. Whether you want to track luggage, your kid's backpack, maybe your kid, dog, keys, wallet. I mean, you can put this in or on almost anything that you want to track and keep track of. Definitely need to go check this out, and I would highly recommend you get one, because it doesn't matter if you travel or not. Everybody has a purse, wallet, keys, car, backpack, briefcase. You have something that this can help you track and keep track of and help protect. So you have an Android smartphone, but it's not a Samsung Galaxy device, and you still want to be able to track your luggage, your backpack, your briefcase, your purse, whatever the case may be. Well, I have a solution for that too, and that is the new Pebblebee Clip. This is actually the official Find My Device tracker from Google. They have used the Pebblebee product instead of creating their own, which I think is actually pretty smart. There are others that are compatible, but this one you can buy directly off of the Google store. As a matter of fact, you can't even get this on Amazon anymore. You can only get it from the Google store. And this is the newest version that I picked up to compare with the Samsung Galaxy SmartTag 2. That's a really long name. And to kind of see how they work. So we're going to pair this up real quick. And then I have some trips coming up in August, September, and November. And I'm going to be using both of these trackers on these trips. And I'm going to compare how well the Galaxy versus the Pebblebee tracker works. And we're going to see exactly how good this is. Now, as of right now, I'm pretty sure the Samsung's still going to win out, but you know, Google's constantly putting updates to their Find My Device network. So maybe by the time I take my first trip, which is really only 2.5 weeks, so unlikely it's going to happen by then, but we'll see how well it performs. So let's go ahead and get this unboxed, get it opened up, and we'll get it paired with the app, and that way it'll be all ready to go for my next trip. So let's see what we got inside the box here. I actually think it was really smart of Google to use an existing product instead of coming out with their own, because we all know how well they do with their own products. You know, it comes out and then, you know, 6 months or a year later, they cancel it. So inside the box here, you have a little quick start guide that's got a little QR code that if you want to pull the manual, this is what you get inside the box, which is the tag. It gives you a cable for charging, and then it gives you a ring right here that you can attach it to your keys or whatever you want to attach it to. Now, this is not as big as what you have on the Samsung. And one thing about this particular like ring is, see how it like opens? It's not going to keep it very secure. Like if you have it on your luggage, on the exterior luggage, someone can easily just pop this off and take it off. So if you're going to use this on luggage, I would highly recommend you look into possibly getting some type of holder to put the Pebblebee clip into, and that could be more secure, because that right there is not too secure, but it does make it really easy to attach and remove from something you have it clipped onto. So that's a positive. So let's get the tracker out here, and let's go ahead and take the cable out, and that's all that's in there. So you can see it's got a little QR code to scan on there, and I already have the app installed. So let's scan the QR code and see what it tells me. Okay, so it takes me to a warranty registration page. So let's go ahead and do that. And now it's saying, let's set up your device. So I'm gonna click start. And you can see here, it says select your platform, but it only gives you the Google Find My Device platform because that's all they support right now. Update the app, yes, app, log into my Google account, double press the button on the Pebblebee, hit connect on the bottom of the sheet, follow the in-app instructions. I'm gonna double press the button. So now that pops up asking me to connect. So I'm going to click connect, adding to Find My Device. So it's now adding this to the Google Find My Device. And now you can see it says that the Pebblebee Clip is now, if I can get that to focus, and now it takes me there where it shows the Pebblebee and it shows the location of where it's at. And let's see, allow access to nearby devices. Nearby devices permission is required. Yes, allow, and there you have it. And so I can actually go in and update the name, which I'm going to change the name on the device. So it's asking me to categorize this. It gives me a list of the different devices, you know, phone, tablet, wallet, keys. I don't see the luggage. Oh, bag. So, okay, I'm going to choose bag. Yeah, see, this just doesn't have a lot of features on it. So, like, you know, there were so many other things you could do with the Samsung device, and I just don't see it in here at all. So if I go into settings, the only thing the settings allows me to do is rename it and change the category. Or I can add someone who I'm going to allow access to follow this tracker. So, for example, my wife, I could add her to the account and she can track this as well. And I can play a sound. That's pretty loud. And that's it. Yeah, there's no other options for me to do any kind of customization. So that's a win for Samsung, in my opinion. They give you all kinds of extra capabilities and options with the SmartTag. So now, as you see, I've got it listed along with my phone and my watch. And of course, my Galaxy Watch 5 Pro is still in there, but that doesn't exist. So I'm actually going to remove that right now, as a matter of fact. And there you have it. Oop, there's the front. So we will see how well this performs in conjunction with the Samsung device. I have a feeling the Samsung device is going to blow this away, but this also is $29.99, which is the same cost as a Samsung. Of course, the Samsung is actually on sale right now on Amazon for $21.99. You can't get this on Amazon, so I can't put a link to the Amazon site. I will put a link to the Google Store site. That will not be an affiliate link if you want to go check it out yourself. There is the charging port on the bottom, and that's basically it. This was like super simple compared to the Samsung, which may seem like a positive thing, but to me, it's not. It's a negative thing because the added functionality of the Samsung is awesome. It gives you way more capabilities than what this does. Now, the battery life on this, they say, is 12 months. So again, it's not a replaceable battery, but at least it is chargeable, so you don't have to throw it away when the battery dies. You can just charge it up. So that's a plus, but I like being able to have a replaceable battery as opposed to a rechargeable battery, only because if for some reason you're out and about somewhere and you don't have the means of plugging it up, you could simply just replace the battery and carry a few batteries around with you in your backpack and you'd be good to go. That's the Pebblebee. We'll see how it compares with the Samsung. So make sure you hit that thumbs up, make sure you hit that subscribe, and you're definitely gonna watch this video here on my new Samsung Galaxy Watch 7. It's been an amazing device, and we'll see you in the next video.